Hey everyone, this is Geo from Games I Beat. Today I'm going to be doing this episode alone, so I hope you enjoy it. Um, so there was a lot of things that happened this week. So let's jump right in. Um, First off, I wanted to cover The Last of Us. So Last of Us Part 2 came out this week, and there was something interesting that happened. The ratings from the bigger websites were very high. I mean, the Metascore from critics is 95. But if you look at the user score, it's a 3.8. Um, so let's look down here. Let's see, Gaming Aid, IGN. The Last of Us Part 2 is a masterpiece that evolves the gameplay, cinematic storytelling, and rich world design of the original in nearly every way. Now, I would say that all of these here probably claim that it's a masterpiece. But if you look at the players, they're not, I mean, look at this ratio 6,500 positive, 842 mixed, 16,800 negative. So when I see stuff like this, I just think what you have here is a case of these like well-established gaming websites. They don't want to rock the boat because you know their business model means that they have to play nice with a lot of these big developers. So in a case like this, I know some people might say, "Oh, the game was review bombed or whatever." No, I don't agree with that at all. I just think that the game wasn't as good as most players wanted it to be, and this goes back to what Josie was saying. I mean, why even remake it? The first one was amazing. Like they didn't have to remake it, and so I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna let Josie speak for it for himself. He's playing it right now, so maybe next week we'll ask him. But I'm not even interested in playing it. I'll just be straight up honest with you. So, yeah. Uh, so next up, here is a rumor about Elden Ring. I don't know if you recall from the last episode. I was asking Josie if he had heard anything about Elden Ring because this is a game that I am seriously looking forward to. This is the newest From Software game, the creators of the Dark Souls series, as well as many other great games like Bloodborne and Sekiro. Um, so let's see what this has to say. It says Elden Ring is completed and playable, will release in 2020. So before you get your hopes up and before I get my hopes up, this is just a rumor, but let's take a look at the source here. According to the latest info from NeoGAF user Arctos, From Software's RPG is set to release sometime between October 1st and December 31st, 2020, which is usually a placeholder. It is currently in bug fixing and optimizing phase. The game is also planned for next-gen consoles. All right, so Arctos claims that Elden Ring is coming to next-gen consoles in addition to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Apparently, the release window is set for fiscal Q3. Now, one of the things that I love about From Software is also one of the things that completely frustrates me, and that's the fact that they're very like secretive about their games. They'll usually release something after they've done a lot of work, and then they'll release something very minuscule. Like the trailer for Elden Ring was like barely anything, and all they said was This is going to be a masterpiece with the storytelling of George R. Martin, the creator of the Game of Thrones series of books, and the game design of From Software and Miyazaki. He's probably working on it. I haven't checked, but I would assume so. So, but that's it. And then they showed like a small clip, and that was it. They haven't released much at all. They haven't given a release date. You can pre-order the game now. So, I mean, to me, that tells me the game's coming out this year. But that's about it. So I would just take this with a grain of salt. NeoGAF is right sometimes, but a lot of times they're wrong. But I really do hope this is coming out soon, and I do hope it is next gen as well. But me personally, I'm probably going to buy it for PC. So next up, Star Wars Squadrons. So that was revealed. This is coming out October 2nd. Now, this is a first-person multiplayer dogfight, in which case you have two squadrons that kind of like go head-to-head in space, and you can fly. From what I've seen, you can fly X-wings and TIE fighters, and it just looks incredible. Let me see if I can pull up a little gameplay here. I don't want to get pulled, obviously, but I'm not really monetizing anything right now, so let's just try to fast forward. Okay, so all right, as you can see here, it looks like pretty open space. Here you're in the cockpit, flying around. The backgrounds are beautiful. I assume they're gonna have different like arenas that the teams are able to face off in. And some so okay, this looks great, but let's take a step back here. The reason why people are skeptical is because EA has a tendency to they just have a tendency to ruin some of these titles. Cut. And the reason people are mostly skeptical is because of the latest Battlefront game. That was like a beloved franchise, and EA just went in there and nickel and dimed people with microtransactions, and I mean that's a sure way to ruin a great game. So I saw a promising article that said EA is not planning to fill the game with microtransactions. So hopefully they learned from their last egregious mistake, and they're just gonna make a great game and just sell it. There's no reason to just, make an awesome game and then have people keep buying. Now, if you're going to do that, make the game free. You make the game free and then you put in some microtransactions. But like, you do it in a way that makes sense. Like, League of Legends, you can buy skins, you can buy champions. Um, uh, there's so many good examples. So you don't put a bunch of microtransactions in a game that somebody already purchased. So yeah, let's hope they learn from their lesson, because I mean this game looks promising, it looks excellent, and I mean it would be amazing to fly these ships in VR. So hopefully they do the right thing and they keep it a good game. So this next one is a little annoying to say the least. Cyberpunk 2077. So we have another release date delay. So here we say the game has been delayed again. Developer CD Projekt Red says the game is done in terms of both content and gameplay, but there's still a lot of work to make sure it all runs well, and the studio won't ship something which is not ready. So this means they're delaying it from September 17th to November 19th. So that's about 2 months. I mean, that's a long time. So I would say that they probably have a bunch of bugs and they're not comfortable releasing the game right now in the current state that it is. So I mean, you can based on what they said it's done in terms of both content and gameplay, but there's still a lot of work. So that means the game is probably riddled with bugs. So right now they're probably doing a lot of beta testing and they're trying to capture as many bugs as possible and get things fixed out. There's probably some, features that they haven't fully built out as well. So, this is another one of those things where it's like, yeah, it sucks, but I'd rather they finish the game fully and then release it, and instead of trying to you know rush it out the gate and then it comes out and it's like glitchy as hell and people are furious at them. So it sucks, but the scope of this game is supposed to be so massive that I think they should take their time. And even if they take their time, I'm pretty sure that I believe this is one of the games that's going to be like, if you buy it for this current gen, you're going to be able to play it for the next gen on Xbox at least. I think it's part of that smart delivery system. So yeah, I mean, yeah, uh, totally. Finish the game, get as many of the bugs out until it's in a very, playable state, then release it. Because a game that's this anticipated, yeah, you don't want to screw up the launch of a game like this. Um, so Captain Tsubasa: Rise of New Champions. Um, so this is a game me and Josie have on our radars. It's like an anime soccer or a soccer anime, and there's old versions of the game. I think there's one on the DS, um, but it's basically like over the top anime soccer game, and it looks amazing. And me and Josie aren't really uh, sports game players anymore. I mean, I was when I was a kid. I played the hell out of sports games when I was a kid, but I don't really play sports games anymore. This game definitely caught my eye. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I already pre-ordered it, and so when we covered it before, there was no release date. Now there's a release date. The release date is 28th of August, and it's coming out to PS4, PC, and Switch. So I pre-ordered the Switch version, I believe. But if it's good, I'm probably going to buy the PC version as well, just because I want to play with multiplayer on PC. It's usually much faster than some consoles. So yeah, I'm glad the game's coming out in about a couple months or so. But yeah, I look forward to playing it, and it's definitely one that I'm keeping on my radar. Um, so this next one was kind of surprising, but also not as not as good as I was hoping the reveal would be. But so I don't actually have this game, Dead by Daylight. I have seen people play it. It's a horror game. Now this they're releasing a Silent Hill chapter. Now, as you recall, there were rumors that a Silent Hill game was coming out, and Konami pretty much they pretty much like killed those rumors shortly after they appeared. They said, "No, we have no plan on making a new Silent Hills game," and everyone was bummed, including myself. And so when this was announced, I was like, "Oh, so maybe this is what the rumors were based on." They were based on a kind of like a cross promotion between Dead by Daylight and Silent Hill. So here we have a new chapter. So here you see, here's the executioner, and you're kind of in the Silent Hill universe, but it's in Dead by Daylight, and you're trying to survive. So I'm actually debating if this is good. I know people love Dead by Daylight. I don't have the game, and I haven't played it. I've watched a lot of it. See, look at that. It looks crazy. So yeah, now he goes into the other realm. Um, but yeah, I mean, me personally, like, I love Silent Hill so much that if this content is like, if people love this content and it's really uh, playable, like you can play it for several hours. I mean, I might buy the game just to play that content. But yeah, I mean, it looks pretty cool. But I still think they should make a standalone, like a new standalone Silent Hill game. Just adding a chapter and kind of like a cross promotion to another game. I don't think that's enough. So, uh, and so I wanted to end this on something a little different. So, Billy Mitchell. I don't know if. So I guess I'll just explain who this guy is. So Billy Mitchell, he is a kind of like a well-known retro gamer, and there was a documentary called "The King of Kong: A Fistful of Quarters," where he had this, you know, Donkey Kong high score. So it looks like it was 1982. Oh, here we go. 2005, he passed 1,000,000 points in Donkey Kong. And then so he maintained 1, 2, 3, 4 high scores. And the documentary was a guy, Steve Wybe. I can't remember how to say his name. But he essentially he went head to head to try to beat his record. And it shows like it just showed Billy Mitchell's personality. He was like this arrogant, cocky guy who, thought he was the best gamer ever. And people just kind of like, ran with it. Like a lot of people just didn't like him because they portrayed him as the villain, and they portrayed this other guy as like the Naruto type figure, this hardworking guy trying to beat his record. And Billy Mitchell would just like, talk down on him every time. But anyways, like in 2018, I believe there was allegations that Billy Mitchell used MAME to play Donkey Kong to get his record, and that he didn't use original hardware. So he was stripped of all his records from Twin Galaxies and the Guinness World Records. So this article, it basically says, where does it say? In light of compelling new evidence received by Guinness World Records, the records management team has unanimously decided to reverse decisions made in April 2018 in regards to video game high scores achieved by Billy Mitchell between 1982 and 2010. So, from what I understand, there just wasn't enough evidence to prove that he cheated at all. And, you know, say what you want about the guy. I feel personally that if you're going to strip someone of their records, you better have proof and you better be able to prove it. You know, to me, what it looks like is they were too quick to judge him and they just stole all his records. And because of his personality, people were happy that it happened. They're like, yeah, this guy lost his records. I knew he was a cheater. Well, he had his records reinstated, so I guess they were wrong. So say what you want about him. He worked hard for those records and he got them back, fair and square. So yeah, that's it for this week. Let me know what you guys think about any of the topics covered in this episode. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Hey everyone, thanks for watching this episode of Games I Speak. What do you think about The Last of Us 2 review? Do you side more with the critics or the users? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you all next time.